Good evening. Welcome to the West Jordan Planning Commission for February 2nd, 2016. We do have all members of the commission present this evening. Jumping right into our agenda, we have one item on our consent calendar, which is the minutes from the January 19th meeting.
Move to approve.
Sure.
I move to
Second.
approve. Great. Second, third.
We're moving right along here. Motion by Commissioner Mack, second by Commissioner Hanson. Any discussion to the motion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. We have one public hearing on our agenda, which is ACJ Properties. Looking at a preliminary site plan with street-facing loading doors in M1 zone. Chris Pastor is the applicant. Is the applicant present? I'll turn the time over to you.
Okay, for the record, Chris Pastor with PGAW Architects. I've been retained to assist in designing a new facility for ACJ. That's an acronym for the last names of the owners. And so really the name of the business that we'll probably be letting it known from now on is Clean Machine. And so this is a business that produces and manufactures kind of high-grade machine parts for the aircraft industry, for the medical industry, manufacturing, drill bits, so forth. Is that kind of close, Ken? Okay. And so their present location is in Murray, Utah, and basically they've just outgrown the industrial park that they're in. And so in looking, they've decided and settled upon West Jordan out there off of Prosperity Road. So really, I think the only reason, and I threatened Annette that I was going to tell this, but is only because she said I had to come to this meeting. And so I think you guys probably understand why. So anyway, we're looking to do a 40,000 square foot tilled up concrete building. The front of the building is going to house kind of an office mezzanine, where they'll handle that, and then all the manufacturing will take place in probably the back, 3/4 of the facility. And then a side loading dock set back from Prosperity about 400 feet, and then with future plans to expand as if and when that need arises. So other than that, that's my introduction.
Okay. We have some questions we wanted to ask the applicant, Commissioner Green.
So this will be related to the actual where the loading dock is. If there's a future expanding, is the dock going to move from the current spot? I assume it would, and move back?
No.
No? It would still stay there?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless the owners tell me they want to move it. So right now, there's no plans to move.
Okay.
Anybody else want to make any comments, questions for the applicant? Hearing none, I guess that's it. Thank you. Ms. Larson.
Thank you. So Chris covered it really well. The only thing that I have to add is because this is normally these types of projects don't go to Planning Commission since it's in the light manufacturing district. Because there are loading bay doors that are facing the street, even with those setbacks, technically it is required to go to Planning Commission, which is why you're hearing it tonight. Regardless, staff is recommending approval with the 3 conditions listed in the staff report.
Are there 2 or 3 other buildings right in that area that also have front-facing doors that we've heard in the last couple of years?
You heard Taffy Town, which hasn't yet been applied for final, so that one's not yet under construction. And then R&J Rentals to the north had also applied for it, loading bay door. That
So
was
this certainly wouldn't be out of place in that particular area.
Not at all.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? Wow, okay. This was noticed as a public hearing, so I'll open this up to the public. If there's anybody who would like to comment on this particular item, I would invite you to the microphone, and if you would kindly give us your name and contact information, and you'll have 3 minutes to make your comments. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission. Commissioner Skoski. Oh, wait, Commissioner Hanson.
Thank you. And this is merely a suggestion on your landscaping. I think that I'd like to see a little more shaded landscaping on the landscaping that is adjacent to the detention pond, the landscaping on the west side of the detention pond. If we could even move some of your larger deciduous trees, you know, every other one over there to provide a little bit of shaded parking in that area. That, like I say, is merely a suggestion. It's something I like to see instead of just straight parking and asphalt. But that isn't in the ordinance, and that's just something I would suggest to make it a little more pleasing to look at. I also would like to see if there's any way to put in, these are all deciduous, some kind of evergreen, not close to parking because of course they grow very wide, things like that. But they don't change color in the winter. Your deciduous all lose their trees, and so you see nothing but the building and your bay doors. And so if it's possible to put some evergreen in there, I think that would also make it more appealing. Thank you.
Any other comments? Commissioner Skoski.
Based on the findings set forth in the staff report and information received during this meeting, I move that the Planning Commission approve ACJ Properties preliminary site plan for the property located at 9706 South Prosperity Road in an M1 zoning district with the conditions set forth in the staff report.
Second that.
Motion by Commissioner Skoski, second by Commissioner Hanson. Any discussion to the motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Welcome to West Jordan. Sure.
Now that you voted, so.
Uh-oh.
You know, I think maybe something you might want to address down the road is this ordinance, and maybe give your planning staff a little bit more latitude to approve what I would consider a no-brainer on this, you know, just on this aspect. Maybe some wording. There's definitely some instances where the you know, the city council would want to review such a loading dock, or say our whole frontage was full of loading docks, then that would make sense. But maybe give your staff a little bit more latitude to approve this, you know, rather than create expense to the owners, you know, having to take time, you know, their staff. So anyway, just maybe something that you might want to look at in the future. Maybe it's a small little tweak to that ordinance.
You don't like your visit to us tonight?
No, I absolutely love that. You know, it gets to be a long day. So anyway, that's just strictly a suggestion.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
The last item on our agenda was the Buick 5600. We were looking to pull this from the agenda, but given the short time frame there, we were not able to do so. So I would ask for a motion to table this to a time to be determined.
I move that we table this agenda item to a date to be determined.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Green, second by Commissioner Skoski. Any discussion to that motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Which concludes our agenda for tonight. That was a very efficient amount of business. Anything else we need to discuss this evening?
Move to adjourn.
I did have one quick thing. Hey, we still have 4 minutes to meet the fastest meeting I ever had. Josh has homework. I will be sending out some sort of survey to each one of you and to the key staff members about the wall art ordinance, so that I can get some of your specific feedback as we start to put some stuff together. So we can put some of your feedback in first, and then we can hash it out. So if you see a link to a Survey Monkey or something, it's not junk. It'll be from me, and we'll see what we can gather that way.
And see how skewed we can make it.
Okay. So now back to that motion to adjourn. Anybody opposed to that? We stand adjourned until February 16th.